Hello all. Zach Nafane here, coming at you from the Wasteland, specifically Ten Pines Bluff. Thank you for stopping in to watch my second video. This will be a tour of my settlement build at the Ten Pines Bluff location. Do apologize. This is actually the fourth time I've tried to record this video. I'm a little frustrated. My game keeps freezing up and crashing on me. So we're going to try and get this done this time here. Basically, I'm at 10 Pines. I'm running some mods. I'm playing on the PlayStation 4. And give me a second while I slow down. Like I said, I'm a little bit frustrated. I'm playing on a PlayStation 4. I am running what few mods they let us have. So USO, or Unlock Settlement Objects, to give me more build options. OC Decorator to help me decorate things. Custom Vanilla Assets. And a few other decoration mods. I'm also running All Settlement Borders Extended, which enlarges the settlement size, which is actually nice here at 10 Pines, because if you've built at 10 Pines before, you know that it is kind of a tight build. Still kind of a small settlement, even with the borders extended, but not quite as bad. So, when I got to 10 Pines, What the fuck happened to the wall there? There's supposed to be a wall there. God damn, this game is glitching out. Okay, anyway, I will have to fix that later. You'll see a lot of that, actually, in this video, and I can't be bothered to fix it right now. So when I first came to 10 Pines, I wasn't quite sure what I wanted the settlement to be. I mean, it is sort of set up as a farm. They have a garden plot in the middle of the settlement. A couple of people living here. But to me, this isn't a good farming area, and we have a lot of other settlements that are set up as farms. And for those of you that have been playing the game a while, you know that if you link your settlements by supply lines, then if you have settlements that produce an overage of food, they will actually feed your other settlements. So I didn't feel a need to have this be a farm per se. What I did was I actually took a look around in the area, and off to the left here up the hill, you may or may not have noticed that there's kind of sort of a little junkyard. Over there's some abandoned trucks and cars, and I think a military vehicle or two inside a chain link fence. Off to the other side, down the bluff, we have the train tracks that run east to west through the Commonwealth, basically from here through Bedford Station all the way out to Oberlin Station. So I decided, and a little bit further past the train tracks we have the airplane crash site that is normally infested by super mutants. So I decided, seeing all that, that my 10 Pines would be a scrapyard. And we're not talking a junkyard. I mean, we see junkyards in the game all the time, and they're just littered with tires and cars and you know, things. In fact, they don't even look like real junkyards to me, like we would see them today in our reality, in our world. But they serve the purpose for the game. My 10 Pines isn't a junkyard, it's a scrapyard, a salvage yard, if you will, where they go out and they find things that they think would be useful, that they could either repair or improve on or break them down and use them to make new things out of. It is a salvage yard or a scrap yard in that sense. Also, for those of you unfamiliar with my builds, if you haven't watched my last video on Starlight City, all of my settlements have one overlying theme. Every settlement will have some sort of business or something that they contribute to the Commonwealth as a whole. So like in my Starlight, I built a distillery. So they produce alcohol, beer and rum and all those things. And that gets shipped off throughout the Commonwealth. So since 10 Pines is a salvage yard, they have a supply company, and this would be their home office. Off to the left here we have their shipping office, and off to the right we have a little bit of a general store. I do apologize for the lack of vendors in some of my stores. I shut off my recruitment beacon, and I don't quite have enough sellers to man everybody yet. So that will get done. Over here, we have a gun shop and our military surplus slash armor slash military clothing, military apparel shop. Take our tour into there, take a little peek. Over here we have some... My God, here too. What the hell happened? All I did was sleep. Oh, well, I can't wait to see what happens with the rest of the settlement. Okay. As you can see, the game's having some trouble rendering. It's getting a little pixelated around that rack with the God rays coming through. So, let's continue on the best we can. Some armor displays here. Some shelves behind the counter. And power armor over here. It's a full suit of T-62 boss power armor that I took off a knight that I unabashedly murdered after I shot down his vertibird. Honestly, I hate the Brotherhood of Steel. Don't like anything they stand for, and Elder Maxon is just an asshole. So when I get to the Pridwin, I'm going to kill him and steal his coat, because he has a pretty awesome coat. This is our weapons shop. So over here we have gun racks on the wall, and big gun racks down there, shelves, stuff. You know, weapons shop. So if you've noticed, all of this that I've shown you so far, these three little things, all of this, oh my god, I sound like a douche. Anyway, so what I've shown you so far is all actually outside the main gatehouse for the settlement. There was a reason I did this. I wanted to kind of have this vibe of having a marketplace outside the settlement. Unfortunately, when I put the walls up, I didn't leave myself a whole lot of space to do that. So we've got some shops out here, we've got some shops in there. The reason why the armor and the guns are out here is because travelers or traders that are passing by could make these purchases and move on their way. They're not allowed to take the guns inside Ten Pines proper. So they can buy them out here and they can move along, or they can go in and do their business and then make these purchases on their way out. Either way, that's why these are out here. There is a guard tower up on top of the shops with some turrets to protect what is out here. And over here we have our trade, I can't even remember what this is called, a trade depot or whatever. You get this when you finish a mission at Bunker Hill. Yes, Bunker Hill. Okay, what do you want? Stop staring at me. This is where all your traveling vendors will come and squat for the time that they are in your settlement, and then they move on to the next place that has one of these. So these guys basically just bounce between here and Starlight right now. No idea what she just said because I'm talking. Guard post over there. I'm going to come in through the front gate of Ten Pines. You notice this is a double gated community. We have the barn doors out front, and then we have this garage door in here. This garage door is actually run by a switch that's up top. So if they're under attack, the guards can flip the switch. And notice I went to shut that door and it closed. I have an auto-closing door mod, and it's awesome. Unfortunately, I don't have barn doors in that mod. Anyway, so if they are under attack, the guard can flip the switch and shut the garage door. That way, the raiders or gunners or super mutants or bloat flies or whatever's trying to get through the front gate, if they do get through the front gate, they have a second line of resistance. We have a nice ramp here. I took some ceiling tiles from the barn tab and pillar glitched them together and put them in this spot to create a ramp coming down this slope. Anyone who's built the Ten Pines know that the terrain is terribly uneven. So there's a lot of these ramps and building things on shack foundations to get myself level so I can make buildings. Come down the ramp, we've got a walkway here that leads off to the left and the right. It's two different parts of our settlement. We've got a landing pad right here for the shipments that they bring in through this gate. That's why we'll see some containers and crates and barrels and things there, along with the mega loader. Over here we have the 10 Pine Shack, the dreaded, the hated, the abysmal 10 Pine Shack. I actually wanted to turn this shack into an information center, but anybody who's played this game and tried to build here knows that you can't do shit with this shack. Can't even move the mattresses out from the inside. So it just stays there, and settlers do sleep in it, unfortunately, and sometimes they leave the door open. This time the door's closed, amazingly. I'm going to head off over in this direction. We're going to see...
Living, this ain't.
That's kind of funny. I'm going to see the other shops that are over on this side of the settlement. You'll notice throughout the settlement that I put in floor tiles, pillar glitch them into the ground. This does help with the AI pathing. As you can see, she's walking across, well, mostly across them. She's sort of wandering. But the NPCs, the settlers, will walk across them without any problems. I've had AI pathing issues in the past with certain settlements. The settlers just tend to congregate in one area or on rooftops or things and not get to where they're supposed to be. So I tried doing this as much as possible to help them with their pathing. So here we have our clothing vendor, or Dapper Dan, standing there wiping down his counter. We head up our path a little bit, and we have our clinic, or aka Chems vendor. She's standing right here. She does, for some reason, have a little bit of a problem getting behind her counter. Every once in a while she gets there. Not all the time. You can take a look that we've got a little chem stand here, a little exam room back there around the corner. Not going to take you back there because it's pretty much just a bed. Pardon my coughing, my throat gets dry from all this talking. Here we have our bar slash restaurant. You notice it is the Take 5 Lounge. That is the name of the distillery that's in Starlight. So since they provide the wasteland with its alcohol, all of the bars will have some sort of version of Take 5 in their name. Like this one's a lounge, the one in Hangman Alley, which I will get around to doing a video on soon, is the Take 5 Cantina, because it's really small. The one in Starlight, if you watched that video, is the Take 5 Tap House. Over here is our wind farm, our electrical center. This supplies the power for the settlement. There's a little shack over there for the guy who takes care of the generators. If we head back around and go over to the other side of the settlement, you'll notice that there's a lot of... Excuse me. Lost my train of thought. There's a lot of odds and ends sort of things around here. Like here we have, out of the decorations tab, out of the church items, an organ. Sunk that into the ground because it seemed like something they might drag up here and try to take apart. We have some signs over here. Bunch of, you know, you'll see miscellaneous crates and barrels and things around too. I tried to use those as sparingly as possible because it seemed like a cop-out. I mean, I run enough mods to have all sorts of things at my disposal, so I tried to use as many of those as I could. As we come through here, like these metal girders or posts. For example, these came out of the CVA mod, the Custom Vanilla Assets mod. And they just struck me as something that should be here. It's a salvage yard. They would try to salvage metal if they could, right? These busted down statues seem like something they would drag up here at some point. Tires around, street signs, some old busted up clocks. People standing on motherfucking roofs. The settlement's glitching out. Okay. So over here is the main body of our settlement, and all of the buildings are built in a ring around the edge of the settlement, so to speak. Right? I wanted to keep this center area open for reasons I'll show you in a minute. Up here we have our armory. This is where they work on, repair, and create new weapons from what they salvage.
Lost track of how many bullets I got.
Got some weapons workbenches over there, some storage back here, some finished weapons over there. This dude. What's up, dude? This room off the edge of the shop here is where that guy sleeps. If we follow the path along here, I also tried to make it sort of visually interesting. I wanted it to feel like something Bethesda would have put here. So, like, you'll notice these steel girders. These came out of the scaffolding, the industrial scaffolding section of the menu. And I just pillar glitched some of them into the ground, threw some of them on top there to kind of make a pile, and then I laid the plywood across to continue the path. I put cinder blocks over on this side, glitched those steps in so that they could actually use this corner to get up. But yeah, just tried to make it as scrappy as possible, look like something Bethesda might have built into the game. That's not supposed to be like that. God damn it. Glitches all over the place. So over here is our pantry. Sorry, I keep getting distracted by how poorly my settlement looks right now. But I can't be bothered to fix it, because like I said, this is the 4th time I've recorded this video. So up here's our pantry. These two little cars, trailer cars, have some garden plots in them, tomatoes, or potatoes, rather. Some corn over there. They don't produce a whole lot of food here, just barely enough actually to support the settlers that they have. Food production is not their purpose. This is just to have some fresh produce around. If we go up here and poke our head into the pantry, here we've got some plots with some mushrooms. I'm going to come all the way over here because noticed in my previous recordings that I have this door in backwards. Or I have the wrong door in, rather, because I'm sure there's a mate to it that opens up in the right direction. But this is the pantry where they keep their food. They ship this out around the Commonwealth as they can. Some of it gets sent over to the restaurant right here in 10 Pines to help feed the population and the visitors and traders that come by. Moving on, I'm going to go over here. This building here is just a set piece. It's a garage, essentially, where they can take, in this example, a car or, you know, basically anything that they bring into the settlement if they need it to be broken down. This would be one of the places they could do it. And again, we're having serious glitching issues. This table is glitched into the floor. It should just be resting up on the foundations, like on the floor, but it's not. I guess at least it's not on the roof. This table should actually be all the way over there by that crane, because I only use these types of tables in 2 spots. The other place is over there. No idea how it ended up here. Anyway, so this is a set piece. I mean, it has no armor workbenches because it's not doing armor. It's got no weapons workbenches because it's not doing weapons. It's just a set piece to show off something. I'm not even sure what. I thought it looked cool. It was the first building I built. First thing I decorated. There's a mat right over in this area, an invisible one. where a guy comes in here and sweeps, so it looks like somebody's working in here anyway. Come down and around the corner, up our path. This trailer right here has bedrooms in it for the guy who works in the garage and the guy who works in our armor shop. I hate to call it a shop because it's not selling anything, but in our armory, our blacksmith shop, whatever you want to call it, he lives over there too. So come up here, see what this guy's got going on. He's actually in here this time around. That's pretty cool. But over here we have power armor, crafting bench, we have armor bench, a couple more armor benches. So this is where they would bring in busted or armor that's not repairable, and he would break it apart, make something new out of it, or if it is repairable, he would use the parts that he has on hand to repair it. Things he makes here get shipped out across the Commonwealth or out front to the armor shop proper, the Army Surplus store, and sold out there. If we take a little detour back around behind, we've got a little bus back here. There's some beds in there for people to sleep. Cooking station, guard tower. That's about it over here. Because of the apparent issues that I'm having, I didn't do a whole lot with the back end of the settlement that's being hidden behind the inner ring of buildings, so to speak. So I'm not really going to poke my head into much of anything going on over there, but we'll walk through it in a second. No, we'll do it right now. We'll come over here. It's just a little shack that people can sleep in. There's actually only one bed in here, so a person sleeps in it. It's not fully decorated, like I said. As you can see, I'm already having issues with the settlement. I'm not really having frame rate issues when I'm outside the workshop menu, but inside the workshop menu I do have some horrendous frame rate issues. So decoration is very sparse in places that are hidden. The reason I'm poking my head in here is because this one is actually built out of or into a piece of airplane wreckage. And while normally walls glitched through something like this would kind of bother me, this time it didn't, and I can't even really tell you why. It sort of works for me. And I put a window piece from the warehouse tab back there to seal off that end. I kind of liked this little structure, and I had every intention of fully decorating it until I started having issues with this settlement. So, just going to leave it as is. Try not to stress out my game too much. I actually think this save file is corrupted. That's why I'm having problems with it. Over there we have a guard tower that looks out over... I'm actually going to go up there. There's nothing in there. I'm going to go up there because I like the view. I mean, look at how much view we had. This is like the best position for a guard tower. Not that anything's going to attack up that bluff, but, you know. Over here, just another little shack. Some beds in it. Up top, there was going to be a patio where they could, you know, chill and drink some beers or whatever. Might still do that because that's not a ton of decoration, but it may just stay the way it is right now. I'm not really sure. Tried to put as much random junk around as I could. Like, this is from the pipe section. That's a piece of an airplane. You know, we've got a random grill hanging out there. A boat anchor. There's not even water anywhere near us in this location. We got a boat anchor. Highway sign. You know... lawnmowers, a weed whacker, things like that. Just throw in random stuff that I found in the menus around to make it look like it was junky. One thing, this right here, this I'm actually kind of proud of. I sort of had an ingenious moment here. Anyone who's built in 10 Pines knows that there's a pit. There's this little trench right here, kind of in the middle of the settlement. It sort of kind of screws things up. Like, I was trying to work in here and do pillar glitches and stuff, and I kept falling into this thing, and it was pissing me off. So what I did was I went into the airplane wreckage tab, found this piece of metal, pillar glitched it into the hole to solve that problem. So that's that. As you can see, I didn't do much with the central house, did not try to repair it at all. I've done that in the past. It's kind of a headache, and I didn't feel like doing it with this one. I just couldn't be bothered. So what I did instead was I used some roof pieces to make a ramp, put some floor tiles in here to join the ramp and the house together. Parked this big ass crane in the middle of the house. This is the only thing that I could actually get to sit on this foundation, and I don't know why. Everything else, when I tried all these things in here, when I tried to set them on the foundation, they turned red and they would just pass right through the foundation. So I rug glitched them all in. They're all sitting on rugs, and there's chains of invisible rugs that we get with the Unlock Settlement Objects mod. There's chains of invisible rugs that run out to these floors, so they're actually all resting on these mesh warehouse floors via rugs. So all those vending machines, all the washers and dryers and crates and things that are over there are all on rugs. This is the only thing that's actively sitting on that foundation. Over here we have our crane operation. This crane, in my head canon, in my role playing for the game, is to help bring in freight from this entrance. This is one of 3 entrances. There's actually an entrance back over there. Nobody uses it. I've only actually ever found it open once. This entrance gets used all the time by the provisioners. I'm going to open it up. This is the entrance that leads out to the train tracks. They're right out at the bottom of the bluff if we go right out here. So if they bring stuff up from the train tracks, which not so easy to do from this vantage point, but over there it's actually probably a little easier. If they bring things in from this direction, they're going to come into this gate, right? And the crane is there for assistance if needed. They would bring them in through here. Okay, I love those cargo nets. I mean, I know they're kind of clipping through the foundations. They're not placed perfectly. They were kind of hard to place to begin with. Had to use a place anywhere mod, but most of the time they look pretty good, and I kind of like them there. I don't like how they're clipping through, but when they fan out like that, it's pretty cool. So they would bring freight in through this direction. We have a guard post here if a guard is needed. We've got a little blockade in case that's needed. They would put it out here into the center of the settlement of the salvage yard and parse it out as needed. If there's some large item like that car that needs to be broken down or whatever, they would take it to the garage. There's armor, it's going to go over the armor, guns, food items or the whatnot to the pantry area, and miscellaneous stuff in this building here. This building is not decorated on the inside either, really. It was the last building I built in this section, and I was already starting to have problems with this settlement, so I left it empty on the inside. Sorry guys. Kind of feel like a failure, but anybody who's built on a PS4 and done builds where you go well over the size limit, well, anybody that's played this game and done builds where you go well over the size limit knows that you can have problems when you do too much junk decorating. So tried to keep that to a minimum on the inside of buildings, considering it's a salvage yard and there was going to be a lot of junk on the outside. But that will do it for my tour of my 10 Pines Bluff settlement. I hope you all enjoyed what you see. If you have any questions or comments, want to give me any sort of feedback, please do so in the comments section below. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you are so inclined. And if you would like to see what I'm going to be coming out with in the future, there will be more videos on the horizon. Go ahead and hit subscribe so you'll be notified when I upload new videos. Basically, I just, it sounds like I'm begging for likes and subscribes. Everybody on YouTube does it, I guess. I'm doing this for fun because I build these settlements and nobody sees them but me, and I wanted to put them out so the world could see them. And if anybody, could draw some inspiration from them, that would be great. If you want to know how I did some things, let me know, and I will definitely do videos on them. I haven't quite worked up to doing Let's Builds. I actually have one settlement, Oberlin Station, that is primed for Let's Build. But I'm waiting for some better screen capture tech to come. I ordered it on Amazon. It should be here soon. Better than the PlayStation 4 screen capture because the quality kind of sucks. But anyway, more stuff to be coming. More stuff coming to my channel in the future. If you would be interested in watching it and want to know when it comes out, definitely hit that subscribe button and YouTube will do all the work for you. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy playing your Fallout games as much as I do, and I hope you'll watch some of my future videos. Have a great day.